All right, so I'm going to make milk kefir. When I make milk kefir, I use a 56-ounce jar, 56-ounce mason jar. I have the grains in here, the milk kefir grains that have been stored in the fridge. I also use this milk. I don't toss it. That goes into this ferment. And I guess, you know, it's a bit of a starter because it is just somewhat fermented. I also use coconut milk. All right, so this is my favorite coconut milk. It's not organic, but you know what? It's really nice. It doesn't have sugar added and it has minimal additives to it. So first we're going to start with the kefir grains. We're going to pour that in. I've put a strainer in there so you can see what the kefir grains look like. Let's hope that works. Okay, so we're just going to stop that for a minute and you can see what the kefir grains look like. Okay, so there's a lot of them in my little jar, but that just gives you an idea. There, the kefir grains. But I'm just going to dump it in there into the sink, and I can continue what I'm doing here. So I'll just pour it in. You can see the kefir grains in the milk. You know, I really don't go by a specific recipe. The kefir grains grow, and when they grow, I separate some of them and I use them in a smoothie, and you don't taste them. I know some people eat them. I find them a little kind of chewy. They're a different texture. It's not a texture I find pleasant, so that's why I put it in the smoothies. So I'm just going to pour that in. So I'm kind of doing it out of order here because I have to put a new bag into my milk container there. So here is the coconut milk. There. Great. That's in. Now I am going to put in a new bag into my milk pitcher. Great. And I will just cut that. There. Great. Pick that up later and throw it in the garbage. Okay, so I'm going to fill it to about there. There we go. I don't mix it after. I've never had an issue with that. It blends somehow itself. I don't really pay too much attention to it after I'm finished this process. There, I think that's about enough. It will raise a little as it ferments. Sometimes I get some of the whey on this surface here. No big deal. Let's put that in the sink. I do put on a lid, and I typically use the lid that has been on the kefir grains that have been stored in the fridge. So here. Right. Okay, I don't tighten it like that. I leave it loose like that. Okay, there we go. I leave it on the counter. Tomorrow night, 24 hours, I'll strain the grains. I do have a video about straining the grains, straining the kefir. And there you go. Sometimes it's a little more than 24 hours. It all depends. If I'm busy, you know, it's quite forgiving. It does separate, but you know, you whisk it back together and it's fine. It tastes great. So, you know, 24 hours or so. That's all it needs.